Well, the Matildas carry the hopes of a nation tonight. They continue their bid to become the World Cup champions. Australia is well and truly behind them, but they are against formidable opponents in the English Lionesses, and this is how the British papers are getting behind their own team. This, the Sun, let's waltz past the Matildas. Sun says, come on, Lionesses. Joining me now is football journalist Lucy Zelic. Lucy, great to see you. The Lionesses are pretty formidable. I've got to say, the English are still trying to avenge the Ashes in some way.
Oh, they are our arch nemesis, aren't they, in every way, Laura? Great to chat to you as always. And of course, we've seen our own papers here in Australia supporting our very own Matildas. They are a formidable side. We know that they are the European champions. They've been fantastic at this tournament so far, very disciplined in defence, only conceding 3 goals. And they have, unfortunately, outclassed the Matildas statistically, particularly in the final third, where they are very dominant in possession and fantastic with their passing rate. But no team at this tournament, Laura, has absorbed pressure more comfortably and more effectively than the Matildas. And so much of that is due to the fact that this defensive backline know each other very well. I mean, you've thrown in Claire Hunt, who has experienced an inordinate amount of injuries and a lot of difficulties to be here, but she has been fantastic with the likes of Alana Kennedy, Ellie Carpenter, Steph Catley. I mean, they've all been fantastic for Australia. And I think that we can take a lot of comfort from the fact that we defeated England in a friendly. I mean, a lot of people will say friendlies don't really count, but we can take comfort from the fact that we defeated England back in April in that friendly, and that was a great result for us. Sam Kerr scored in that match, and also Charlie Grant, who we've yet to see feature off the bench, but they've been fantastic for us so far in the green and gold. And I'm expecting a really kind of arm wrestle when it comes to, England will have, I'm expecting a lot more of the ball, but I'm expecting also that the Matildas will be very resolute in defence and very strong in transition. And particularly effective in the counter-attack.
Right. So, like everyone else, I've become an armchair expert over the last couple of weeks, Lucy, but you're the real expert, and that's why we're talking to you this morning. So, look, we've spoken last week about the dynamism of the Matildas game, how differently they played against France to some of their previous games. How do they need to play against the Lionesses?
Well, they're a similar opponent to what we've seen already and what we've faced already, Laura. In that when we had to play against Denmark, we expected them to have the majority of the ball, and we expected us to rely again on our strengths. As I said before, in transition and on the counter-attack. I'm expecting again that that's the type of opponent that we will be facing in England. As I said earlier, very dominant in possession, very, very strong going forward, particularly in the final third. So I'm expecting that they will have a lot of the ball. But again, it's about the Matildas playing to their strengths. Time and time again against Nigeria, and I always go back to that game. I felt that we didn't play to our strengths. We tried to outclass them in areas where we weren't simply strong enough or dominant enough. And I feel that now those issues have been corrected. We saw against France, again, that was a massive arm wrestle. It had to go to us, recording the most historic penalty shootout in Women's World Cup history for us to win the match. But ultimately, they're very similar opponents. They've got a lot of strength in attack, and we're going to see a real arm wrestle in the midfield. But also for them, they're going to have a real battle breaking the Matildas down. Us very strong defensively, but equally for them, they too, as I said before, very strong in defence. They've only conceded 3 goals. There are some similarities in the two teams in that we've both had to go to extra time and penalties. England had to do the same against Nigeria, but defeated them far more comfortably than what the Matildas defeated France. But they've also equally been just as frugal in their changes and their substitutions as well. We've got some tired bodies out there. The Matildas, as we heard Alicia Ferguson saying earlier, said that predominantly it's been about rest. And we have had to rest our players because we've only managed to really use about 17 players throughout the tournament so far. No player has covered more distance at this Women's World Cup than our very own Katrina Gorry, who's just been outstanding, simply outstanding in the midfield for us. But so was Mary Fowler. I mean, this is a player that we're seeing at just 20 years old, has so many more opportunities to grow. Give her another 5 or so years when she really hits her peak, and we're going to see a truly frightening player as if we aren't already. Caitlin Ford has been immense for us. This has been, I know I've been saying this throughout the entire tournament, this is her best Women's World Cup showing and her best performances in a green and gold jersey for this country. Mackenzie Arnold, we know people were putting up memes likening her to a brick wall that when you Google it, Mackenzie's face comes up. You know, she has just been fantastic, and so have so many of these players. You know, and I mentioned Claire Hunt before. She's been outstanding in defence, a quiet, resolute player who goes about her business and has been so solid for us at the back. We'll need to see more of these showings in this particular match. But as I said, some tired bodies. So does Gustafsson make some more changes?
Yeah.
It's unlikely he will. Sam Kerr, the big question mark over her. Does she start?
So Lucy, talk to us about Sam Kerr. What happens here?
Sam Kerr. Well, what happens here, I think she may again feature off the bench. She's not completely match fit, and that's to be expected. She hasn't featured as much throughout this tournament. I mean,
why do you say that? Why? I mean, I believe you, and I'm on board with you, and she's not playing the full 90 minutes, but she looks damn good when she's on the pitch.
She looked fantastic, didn't she? And against France, when she came on inside 30 seconds, Laura, she already made an impact, making a deadly run forward, and she was already involved from the outset once she made an appearance off the bench in so many more crucial plays, flicking the ball on and really getting involved and providing that extra bit of spark that the Matildas need going forward. But I feel that Caitlin Ford has very much filled those shoes in terms of the role of her stepping up and creating as many opportunities down the left wing. I expect she'll start off the bench only because I think Gustafsson is largely very satisfied with how things are going. And let's not forget, Sam is still recovering from this injury. So she's not 100% match fit. She's not 100% match sharp. That's to be expected. I mean, for a global player, though, her status is just incredible. And I think that any time that she's involved in any of the Matildas' actions is going to be immense. But I think as an impact player at this point, if we choose to bring her on early in the second half, I think that may work to our benefit. And as I said before, we've got a lot of tired bodies out there. So to bring someone on in a Sam who will still be quite fresh, but as I said, not 100% match fit, she'll still be able to provide that spark and that extra engine that we'll need going forward to break down England in transition.
Lucy, pleasure to talk to you as always. Fingers crossed, and the nation is behind them, absolutely.